these are the pans we'll be using for our lasagna and mashed potatoes. We need 9 lasagna noodles. I usually cook a few extra just in case they break up or anything. Some tomatoes, spaghetti sauce. We have some ground turkey today, but it could be ground beef if you want. It's up to you. We have a full onion, half of red pepper. I'm gonna put this in my lasagna. It's really, really good. Instead of using the cottage cheese, sometimes I like to use this. Okay, it depends. This works really, really well. It's like a French onion dip, and it's really, really tasty. You know what's great to mix with this French onion dip is your cottage cheese. It just gives the cottage cheese a really, really nice flavor. For cheeses today, we have the old-fashioned. I'm not, to be honest, I'm not very picky with my cheeses because as long as you have the right seasonings, you can make anything taste good. So I'm not picky with cheeses. As long as I have cheese that's like a mozzarella or something white, and then I have a marble cheese here, okay? And then for our mashed potatoes, I got the potatoes cut up. We're gonna use some butter, evaporated milk, and this is what I'm gonna put in my potatoes today. It's Herman garlic cream cheese. It makes it taste really, really good. And then our corns and carrots on the side. For seasonings, we're gonna be using our extra virgin olive oil, Caribbean spice and roasted garlic seasoning, paprika, cumin, chili powder. We're gonna have some parsley in there. Fresh parsley is really nice, but today I don't have the fresh parsley. Italian season, basil, oregano, sugar, salt, pepper, and another thing that's really, really good is fresh dill. Sometimes you can put a tiny bit of that in there, and it just changes the taste of the sauce. Like if I'm making spaghetti or anything, like for spaghetti, I love to put that in my spaghetti. It's really, really good. And yeah, so those are our seasonings for today. Okay, so I've put on my noodles, have my potatoes on, and now I'm gonna start my sauce. So I've coated the bottom of the pan with my olive oil. Just coat the bottom. That's fine. Our stove on. You'll find because it's not ground beef but ground turkey that it's a bit more pasty, but that's fine. Start with our seasonings. And I don't really measure my stuff. I just pour them in. And I'm gonna do this before I flip it so that at least I know that it's getting on the raw parts of it, right? So the seasoning will get worked into the meat better. And you start putting the seasoning in before you flip it, because you can put those couple in first. I like my food seasoned very, very well. Turn the stove down just a little bit. seasonings that I'm leaving out are the seasonings that I'll actually use in the sauce also. So once I have the sauce in there, I season my sauce too. So there's just a few of them that I'll use in the sauce. And in the noodles, I should put some salt in there. So I'm going to put some salt in the noodles now. And in my potatoes, I'll put some salt. Ooh. It's neat. I'm going to put my onions in now. Ooh, I'm sorry guys, making all this mess. We put in our peppers, and I mean this is optional. You don't have to use peppers if you don't want to. I like it kind of chunky. You can use peppers. You can put your mushroom in now. Anything you like really, you can put in. I love mushrooms in mine, but my youngest doesn't really like mushrooms, so sometimes I'll just bypass it. And I'm not really fussy for like name brands or, you know, I have to use this and I have to use that. I'm not really fussy like that. I find that everything that you use can taste good if you season it right. Like for example, my sauce. My sauce doesn't have to be this kind of sauce. It could be any kind of sauce. It could be the most basic sauce. But once you have the right seasonings, it all tastes the same. So that's how I am with my food. Let me put the cover on that. Let that cook down a little bit. And the reason why I'm just using 9 noodles is just because of the size of my pan. So it depends on what size lasagna you're making. Because I'm just making it for me and my family, I don't really need a really big one. So this is what I'll be filling with my filling up with lasagna today. And for this, I just need 9 noodles. 9 noodles is usually enough. Let that cook down a little bit. doesn't take long at all for the meat to cook. Now I'll put in my tomatoes. Now the way I'm making this sauce is actually the exact same way that I would make my spaghetti sauce. Add whatever you want in it, and I use the same seasoning as for my spaghetti sauce. But with my spaghetti sauce, I love to use dill. Fresh dill is really, really nice in your spaghetti sauce. So you can give that a try one day. I'm sure you'll love that. Let it cook down a little bit more, and then we'll put our sauce in there. Okay, so we're ready to put our lasagna together. I'm going to lay down a little bit of sauce before we put any noodles down. Okay, put down our first layer of noodle. Some of the noodles might have started to break up a little, but that's all right. Don't have to worry about that. Okay, we're gonna put down some sauce. Probably should have made 2 packs of my meat sauce. That's all right. This is just for me and the kids. Now we're gonna put down our onion dip. So this is just like if you had cottage cheese. The only thing is cottage cheese doesn't really have a taste, right? But this onion dip gives it a lot of flavor, and it's optional. You don't have to use it, but it's just nice, and sometimes it's nice to try different things. A lot of the time, I put this in my like if I'm making potato, like roasted potatoes, or you know, just anything like that. Sometimes I'll put this in my potatoes. So one day I just figured that I would just try it in here instead of cottage cheese, and it turned out really nice. It gave it a lot of flavor. It kind of just takes the place of your cottage cheese. That's all it does, and has a better taste. So why not? And you don't have to do this step. You don't have to put anything. You can just continue with your sauce and your cheese, your you know, your other cheeses. You don't have to put anything here. Dun, 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 dun. Don't mind my noodles, they starting to fall apart here. That's the reason why I tell you to put extra in there. I was editing my other videos and got a bit busy, so. Okay, we're gonna put some more meat sauce. And this is the last roll, so now you know that you're okay. You're not gonna run out of sauce, so. Like if you had baked potato, and you put some of that, the dip that I put inside of my lasagna on your baked potato and just stuff like that, or your mashed potato, it's really, really nice. And I love onions in my food too, so maybe that's why I like it. I have my stove on already, getting warm for me. 350 is good for your stove. I'll put a little bit of this, just because I like variety of cheese. And then I'm gonna use my mozzarella cheese. Actually, just want to put a little more of this. Usually I use all the cheese that's grated, but today, and because of, you know, the virus and everything, I didn't really want to be all over the place, so I just went to Shoppers and got whatever cheese they had there. So I was glad that I ended up getting any mozzarella at all. So, I mean, usually I would use the cheese that's grated, but like I said, I went to Shoppers today because of all this virus and everything, and this is the mozzarella cheese that they had, so that's the reason why I ended up getting this kind. But doesn't matter, it really doesn't make a difference as long as you have your cheese. So I'll put that in the oven, and now I'm going to start on my potatoes. I'm going to drain my potatoes, and then I'm gonna put my carrots on. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna put on my carrots. I have put some butter in there, and I'm just putting a little bit of water. Might have to add more water, but I just want it to steam. I think you'll be okay. So let's let that steam. Oops. Meanwhile, we're gonna mash our potatoes. Add our butter and our potatoes. Some milk, and I'm sorry, I don't really measure. I gotta get used to measuring and stuff like that because I really don't. So I'm sorry about that, guys. So as I'm going along, I usually will notice if I need more milk or not. I really got to get used to measuring now that I'm doing these videos. And I just got the corn on high heat because I'm right here, so I know that it's not going to. We're putting in our Parma garlic cream cheese. This is going to give it a really nice flavor. If I didn't put this in, then I would even put in some roasted garlic or something, but this is just easier and it tastes really, really nice. I try to do things fast. I don't, like I said, I don't like to be in the kitchen very, very long. Look at this, guys. I like very soft potatoes. Maybe we should put a little bit of salt and some pepper. I like to use these dishes because they have covers over them. And when I finish cooking, I empty all of my pots and pans so that I can just wash them right away. I like so that once I'm finished with the stove, I like all the pots and pans already washed. I dish out the food, or I'll do it like where they dish out their own food or whatever. But I just like to make sure that it's nice and clean so that after I finish eating, I don't have to worry about, you know, cleaning up or putting away anything. So I just do it all while I'm cooking. By the time I finish cooking, everything is nice and neat and dishes cleaned and everything. we can put in our corn now. Oh, I should have drained the corn when I took it out of the can. I didn't, but just gotta make sure I don't put all of that liquid in there. I just put my stove on low. Now with the lasagna, when the lasagna finishes cooking, we really can't cut it until it cools. Because if you cut it before, it will just make a mess. In my corn, I'm gonna put a little bit of sugar, guys. Salt, pepper, show you potatoes. Potatoes are done. The lasagna. Corn are finished. Corn and carrots are finished. So the potatoes, mashed potatoes are finished, lasagna is finished. All we have to do now is wait for the lasagna to cool so that I can set up a nice plate. So lasagna has to cool and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the finishing touch. There you go, and lasagna with some mashed potatoes and carrots and corn. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me, and cheers. Bye-bye. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and give me a thumbs up. And if there's any questions, just let me know what you need and I'll be sure to answer. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.